Hello world, welcome to another vlog. In this one, I'm joined by my beautiful wife, Louise. You guys remember her?
Hello, Taylor Sip.
You haven't seen her in a while. How are you? Are things good?
Good.
She's busy. Today, we wanted to talk about, obviously, your phone usage, because we know on this channel in particular, it's been kind of a roller coaster, and I think when I first met you, you did not have an iPhone. Started off with
a flip phone.
A flip phone,
Sure.
And then for your social stuff, you had an Android tablet. And then while we were in college together, you switched to an iPhone 4.
Mm-hmm.
And the 4 was not new at the time. It wasn't when it was.
This was like 3 years ago.
It wasn't that long
2
ago.
years ago.
So how much did you buy the 4 for?
$30.
$30. That's a pretty good steal because you're thrifty. You're smart that way. And
I wanted a taste of what it was like to have an iPhone. And from there, I was hooked.
After the 4, you switched to what, a 6?
6 was next.
Okay, and then I got involved, and that meant your phones just got better and better the more we started dating.
Pretty much, I went from a 4 to a 6 to an 8.
8 plus.
8 plus.
You had an 8 plus,
and then, did I ever have the 7?
I don't think she ever had a 7.
And
you
then the
leapfrogged.
10R. So it was 4, 6, 8, 10.
Right, and for the past year pretty much, no, not quite a year. For the past few months, you've been using a 10R. And you just decided you don't need all that. And most recently, we challenged you because you decided, you know, the 10R doesn't really have a bunch of features I care that much about. So I'm going to just switch back to my iPhone 6, which we still had in the closet. And my challenge for her was if you can use the 6 for a week without even touching the 10R, then fine, we can sell the 10R.
So basically, how it came about is I've been getting into minimalism more and more. So I was looking at different aspects of my life that I could downsize. And I'm not really, like, I like technology. I have nothing against the 10R. It was a great phone. But I was just thinking I'd rather have cash in my pocket than have 2 extra iPhones. Because I was using the 10R and we had an 8 plus. And then we had the 6, and I have another 6 that his sister is using.
Yes, yeah.
So we had all these like leftover iPhones, and I was like, this is just really extra and not minimalistic.
Switch back to the 6 and you did it. You made it through the challenge.
And we sold both the 8 plus and the 10R.
Right.
For a pretty penny.
Yeah, the 8 Plus sold for $400, which I was pretty surprised by. And you knew the worth of the 10R better than I did. It had some scuffs on it, on the metal, and I was like, oh man, there's no way this is going to sell very well.
Yeah, I dropped that phone about 5 times on concrete, and it never shattered.
The glass was fine.
Yeah.
And there weren't really any noticeable scratches on the glass. It was just little scuffs on the aluminum.
Corners, yeah.
And someone bought it for $475.
And he was trying to convince me to do a trade-in for like, what, $350?
It was something that's like $375 or something.
But I'd rather have cash than a new phone.
So between those 2 phones and you switching to the 6, we made like almost $900. And tell us about your experience with the 6 now that you've been using it as your main phone for like 2-3 weeks now. How's it been?
Can I take the case off first?
Yeah.
My case
it's alright. They could see it. They
okay.
know what a
My
6
case looks
like.
really bad because it used to be this like rose gold color, and then I scratched it off. And now it's like partly white.
Very simple phone.
This is what it looks like. It's our photo on there, if you can see that. But so far, my experience has been overall good. It's done everything I need it to, mostly like listening to music or podcasts in the car. The most noticeable differences are probably the battery life. I do admit the battery life is probably more around like 6 to 8 hours if I'm using it.
Total, not screen on.
Total.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's normal.
You went from 10R, which is one of the best battery lives in any phone, down to the 6. People said was notorious for having bad battery life.
Yeah. But again, it doesn't really affect my life that immensely because I work a desk job and I can charge this pretty much whenever I want. So on my work days, my phone never dies. Sometimes I come home and my battery is fuller than Drew's. So that's saying something.
Well, that's because I don't even charge my phone at night anymore because it'll just go several days on one charge. But anyway.
Besides the point.
I have to speak for the nerds out there, honey.
Okay.
Because I know there's people out there saying, how can you live with the A8 chip and 1 gig of RAM? You can't even run iOS 13. Don't you want at least a 6S so you can run the latest iOS?
So, very good question. For me personally, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. It runs the way I need it to. I'm not really sure what iOS 13 or how it's different other than there's dark mode or...
And the volume indicator on the side.
All of those are such tiny details that it's not worth the brain power to even talk about.
So you don't have the problem of the screen blinding you at night with the white pixels?
No, because this is so dark anyways.
Yeah.
And I tend to leave this, like, look how dark the screen gets, so this is perfect.
And do you not miss the 10R 6.1 inch screen? You don't mind the 4.87, much smaller?
No, I actually prefer a smaller footprint. Yeah, because it's lighter, first of all. It's easier to fit in a purse. The 10R just felt heavier and like bulkier. It was like a brick, and this is more of like a pancake.
So you actually prefer the lighter designs? You like it when they're thin?
Yeah, I'm kind of like upset that they're staying with glass. And I understand the whole wireless charging thing, but I think the metal or is aluminum is just a lot lighter, easier to carry around.
She's the one person in the tech community. Well, maybe you're not in it, but...
No, I'm sure there's many other people like me, so comment below if you also use a 6 or older.
Well, there's just so many people that we've always said for years that we don't mind if our phones get thicker as long as the battery life's longer. And you're the first person like I've met that's been like, I don't care if you can make the battery worse, make the phone thinner, make it lighter. That's actually a priority for you.
Yeah, and actually a few days ago we had a power outage.
Oh, yeah.
So my phone did die because I couldn't charge it when I got home. But it taught me that there are more important things in life than just your cell phone and keeping up on social media.
Not true.
Like, we were able...
I'm kidding. You're right.
to just focus on each other, and I feel like our generation is too caught up in technology anyways. So I wish we all had more opportunities to just spend time with each other face to face without these distractions.
Which is our next topic. You're debating ditching the 6.
Going back to the 4.
Would you have a 4?
What do you mean ditching the 6?
You said a few minutes ago you want to go to no smartphone at all. Just use a flip phone.
Okay, now I'm going to start to sound like a hermit at this point.
I just want to understand the mindset.
I'm trying to lower our expenses by like as much as possible. And currently we're spending about $25 each on our cell phone bill, which is not bad at all.
That's pretty cheap.
I know some people who spend like $80 on their smartphone.
Easily, yeah.
But I was thinking, I mean, what if I didn't have a cell phone at all? I mean, I don't even want a flip phone. It's only emergencies that I would really need a phone. So I need one of those life alerts so that I can press it if I get stuck on the highway and be like, Drew, come get me.
Right. I was going to say.
That's pretty much all I need.
She has internet at work, I think.
It blocks everything.
Oh, it blocks everything. I was going to say, if you were stranded on the highway with some issue and you had no way to contact me, that would be a problem. I would want you to at least have some type of phone for that reason alone. Outside of that, yeah, you mentioned like, what if we just scrap the data plan and you would just use your phone when connected to Wi-Fi? Or
plus, I'm with you like most of the time anyways.
That's true.
So we can use your phone for emergencies. Also, even if I was stuck on the freeway, I could always, not hitchhike, but like stick my thumb out.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, but everyone has cell phones, so that
I don't
guy
want strangers
with a
picking you
mustache
up.
in a truck, I'm sure he's nice enough to let me borrow his phone.
Please don't cancel your phone. Please at least have one.
Anyway,
I just wanted to have you on and interact with the audience because you're such a different phone user.
You're going somewhere else.
No. You're so different from everybody else I interact with in the tech space, where most people would use the 8 or the 10R and say, just pick one of those. My God, don't go back to the 6. Or right now I'm like, why don't we get her the SE coming out? That's going to be $400, be the same footprint, and it will have the A13 chip, 3 gigs of RAM. You'll be... No.
Even that, I'd rather use this until it dies, pretty much.
Like completely dies.
Completely dies, doesn't turn on anymore. Funny story, so this was the first 6 I had. I was in Florida with my dad. I was cleaning up the garage and I had set it down on a shelf. And he came by and took something off the shelf and my phone flew off and completely shattered. Like the whole screen was gone. So this is a new screen on an old phone, which is kind of dumb of me to replace a screen on like $100 phone.
You can see the little screen blotches a little bit. Well, it's just when the third-party screen repair happens, oftentimes you can see little...
Like pixels?
No, not dead pixels, but just places where it's brighter than others.
Oh.
It's like a trained eye thing. I won't point them out to you.
He's a trained eye, apparently.
Well, anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.